As players and dungeon masters, we never get anything wrong. We're always spot on. We know our characters. We know what we're trying to do. We even know the rules of what our players are trying to do. Actually, that's not true at all. Half the time, most of us are guessing. And you rules lawyers out there, I love you for that because you make my job easier. But let's talk about 5 rules, 5 actions that a lot of times we get wrong in combat that would give us advantage if we use them correctly. So of the 5 actions that we get wrong all too often, shove is one of them. See, the shove action can be taken in a place of an attack action, to where you can shove someone, moving them 5 foot in one direction, usually away from the character, or you can knock them prone. Here's the thing about shove though. If you have multiple attacks, it only takes one of your attack actions. Now, why would you want to shove someone prone to get advantage to then hit them when you could just hit them twice? Because then you give advantage to anyone else that's standing next to them as well. Shove is an amazing action to give you battlefield control, but not take all of your attack actions. Now, let's just say that you can shove someone, you can attack with one action, and then you're got crossbow expert, so you can fire with a crossbow in the other. You can still use your bonus actions as well. Shove only takes one attack action, still allowing you to have multiple attacks. Now, how you use this and if it would work well for you, that depends on the game, what the terrain looks like, and how you play your characters. But anyway, just something interesting about the shove action that I love. It doesn't take both attack actions, just one. The other action that we get wrong all too often is grapple. See, with grapple, it again, like shove, only it takes one of your attack actions. So you can grab someone, take an attack action to grab them, you can still move half of your distance, and then you can shove them. It is the same thing because you are allowed to move after you grapple. And in addition to that, you still have your other attack action. So anyone that has multiple attack actions, you can basically move between them. In addition to that, you can attack, you can move, and you can grapple. So they don't have to happen in sync with one another. So just remember that. Grapple only takes one attack action, and you can still move half your distance once you grapple someone. Have multiple attacks, combine a grapple with a move with a shove, toss someone off a cliff. That's one turn. Something to keep in mind. How would you use grapple now knowing that? The other thing that we get wrong in combat a lot of times is any damage we do can be non-lethal. You heard me right. You don't have to kill anyone. And this was a big contention for me, that when the players get in combat with guards or with a bar tavern and they kill someone, you don't have to. You simply need to say, I'm doing non-lethal damage. It's written in the rules. Now, whether you like that as a player or not, saying, hey, you can't really do non-lethal damage with a sword, well, that's up for debate. You can hit with the side, you can hit with the pommel, you can try to knock someone out, and it's a fantasy game. So for those of you that are doing ranged damage with arrows, let's kneecap some people. The bottom line is that you don't have to do lethal damage at all times in this game. So keep that in mind and allow yourself to not be murder hobos, but still be able to be aggressive. Because if you want to have combat, you want to defend yourselves, you don't have to kill everyone that comes up. Put them in jail. That leaves some great storytelling and some great, well, possibilities later on. So what do you think about that? Do you think non-lethal damage should be allowed for all weapons? What are your thoughts? The other action that we get wrong often is readying an action. So if I ready an action with my bow to take someone out as they come around the corner, when they come around the corner, I have to use my reaction to use the ready to action. This is basically something that just helps with the action economy of the game, so I can't just use a ready to action and also get my reaction as well. So this helps really solidify what players are doing. Now, some players and some dungeon masters love to use a ready to action and also reactions because not a lot of characters have reactions. But at the same time, you can ready a spell and then use your reaction to cast it. That's a whole different ballpark of ball of wax or beeswax or whatever about readying spells. And we're not even going to get in there. But the bottom line is that if you ready something and ready an action, you must use your reaction to do it. But that doesn't mean you cannot use the reaction to change the readied action. So just keep that in mind. Another thing that we get wrong a lot of times, and it may be something to forget, a lot of you players will know this one, you can move between attacks. Meaning, if you have multi-attack, I can attack here, I can run 15 feet that way, and then attack over here. And if I have a third attack, I can then run 15 feet over there, and attack over there. You have the ability to move between attacks, which is what allows us to do my earlier tips of grapple, move, shove. So just keep that in mind, is that your multi-attack, when you drop a creature, you're allowed to move 15 feet, 30 feet, your full movement if you have not moved that turn. What it also means is you can move up 15 feet. If you have a movement speed of 30, you can attack. You can then move 5 feet this direction to attack over here. Yes, if you move out of someone's threat range, you're bringing on attacks of opportunity, but you can attack multiple foes, allowing you, once you have multi-attack, to not just damage one. So moving between the lower health creatures and knocking them down with, Grit Weapon Master or something of the like allows you to still be effective in combat. You don't have to move and attack and then be done. So keep that in mind. Those were just 5 dumb things, the dumb rules that sometimes we forget the flexibility we have in Dungeons & Dragons. When I was playing with my daughter the other day and listening to her talk about her character, she was forgetting a lot of the things she can do because she's 12, because she's never played before. We make assumptions as dungeon masters and as players that everyone should know as much as we do. There's nuance in the rules of any tabletop role-playing game you're playing. So just remember, people may not know everything that you know. You can make the occasional advice. Don't try to help someone always make the optimal move. Let them play their character. But sometimes a friendly, hey, did you know that you actually have bonus action? Like you're using crossbows, right? And you've got crossbow expert. With a bonus action, you can actually use your hand crossbow. Sometimes we forget those things as a player. We built it with something in mind, but then there's a lot that goes on into it. So help your fellow players out and remind them courteously, not in the moment, that they have an action they may have forgot about, because we forget things all the time. So guys, thank you as always. Like, subscribe, smash the button, hit the notification bell, do all that stuff to help us grow the channel, and we'll keep this coming as fast as we possibly can. And thank you again. We'll see you next time.